Hey Capricorn, welcome to your Twin Flame Souls in Separation reading. It is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. If it doesn't resonate, check your moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign because that's the energy you could be in today. If it does resonate, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe. All the information is in the description box below that you will need. And let's get started. I've been guided to try different formats, so let me know what you guys think. It would be greatly appreciated, and it'll help me know that I'm helping people. All right, so let's take a look at the current situation between you and your person. Okay, so we have rest and rejuvenation. Okay, perhaps you're feeling a little more tired than normal. There's an exhaustion energy waving through right now. Some of you are spending a lot of time sleeping, and that's completely okay. It just means that your body needs to catch up to all the energy and the integration that's happening right now is what I'm hearing. And if you're feeling it, then most likely your twin is too, but we'll get into that a little bit more. See, let's do a challenge, like what the challenge is right now and kind of some hidden factors. So what is the challenge right now between you and your twin? I say twin, take it as it resonates, guys. It's whatever's coming up. Yeah, so we have deeper spiritual knowledge and community. You might be isolating yourself or wanting to isolate yourself from people. You might be burying yourself in some, I don't know about you guys, but when I sometimes get excited about something, I go down the rabbit hole of knowledge and information. But because it's a 7, which is like spiritual knowledge for me, or seeking spiritual knowledge, I do, but it being that it's a community card, I do feel a sense of isolation a little bit here. And that could be because you're trying to protect your energy because, and I do sense, because it's an isolation from them, you might be feeling detached from the other person right now, from the social circles that they're in, and as well as you're in. I'm still getting my voice back, so bear with me. Let's take a look at some of the hidden factors here. Yeah, second chakra, so Archangel Ariel, so the sacral chakra. I feel like the only solace you may or may not have found right now, Capricorn, is in being creative. For some of you, it's problem solving. From you, it's artistic stuff. I do feel like the isolation is so you can tap into your own creativity. Give me a moment. I'm being guided to pick a deck of cards and do some clarification here. Alright, so we're going to use my Black Cat Tarot card. That's what called to me. Alright. So I just want to get some clarification here on the situation. Yeah. The challenge and the hidden factors. Okay. All right, so the first one that came out, interestingly enough, is the moon. Okay. And then the next ones that came out, I think this is the Page of Wands. Okay. And then the 4 of Swords, which I think is interesting because this is about being laid up, right? Being held back, being laid up in a certain way. Yeah, we have some heartache and betrayal. But we have, so the interesting thing, I feel like you guys are just in separation right now because you're learning more about your situation and yourselves. You're being forced to turn inward. Some of you are dealing with fear. Some of you are really just dealing with exhaustion, but I feel like the exhaustion is a part of giving too much of yourselves, okay? The fact that we have the 3 of Swords followed by the Fool and then the 2 of Cups, tells me that there has to be a period of mourning before you can begin anew. You have to lay to rest the things behind you so that you can go ahead into the future. I just feel like and I feel like the sacral chakra, not only because it's a creative factory, but it's also that passionate part of you, okay, has to be recalibrated right now. And you're being held up right now until you can let go of the things in the past for good. Straight up. That's kind of the current situation, but we're going to delve into each one of you. So we're going to get some cards, and I should preface, I tend to read for the Divine Feminine as the main person, and then the other person being Divine Masculine energy. I know, I don't know why I do that, but now I'm going to get them all screwed up. I'm trying to keep them from becoming flipped upside down when I do this. I feel like I kind of messed it up anyways, but it is what it is. Okay. I guess it's going to come out how it's meant to come out. But let's see. Let's get some cards representing you. What's on your mind and what's in your heart. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords representing you right now, Capricorn. This is like the ultimate death of the ego. Surrendering. Being free. Free of the ego, if you will. Okay, and... Whew. Okay, so in your heart, we have the Hierophant, okay? So we know the Hierophant is higher levels of commitment, but it's also higher levels of commitment to your own spirituality. Okay. So that was on your mind. Maybe you're delving more into your gifts. Maybe you're like, Jesus, take the wheel. That's what I feel the energy is. Jesus, take the wheel. So what's actually in your heart then? The Five of Swords. Yeah. You're being guided to lay your sword down. Pick your battles. Because this heartache that you're hanging on to is not worth hanging on to. This old stuff. But it's more about why. Why are you hanging on to that, Capricorn? Okay, why are you hanging on to those things? What is it? And we'll get into maybe more about what's going on later. Okay, is it just you hanging on to this, or are they hanging on to it as well? Okay. Let's get some clarification for you, and then we'll get on to their side of things here. I do feel an energy of surrender, which I think is a beautiful energy. It's a difficult energy because you do nothing. And you are a doer, Capricorn. It is not easy for you to do nothing. Okay. So let's get some more cards representing you right now. Yeah. So we have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Cups, okay? The Four of Pentacles to me is, in this particular deck, is contemplation. There's a lot of thought on her. Look at her mind. She's very thinking deeply. But we also have this, not only a new beginning in love, but when the Ace of Cups appears to me, this is about loving yourself. This is about the inexhaustible source of love within as well. And if you're a twin, you know that that inexhaustible source of love also belongs to your twin because it's from within and it's everlasting. Okay. But I feel like there's a lot of contemplation for you about what that means to really love yourself. And understanding that you don't have to give up anything in order to do so. Okay. All right. So what is on your mind? The Hierophant. So higher levels of commitment. Yeah. Perhaps Jesus take the wheel is what I heard when I looked at the card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have deep soul ties and we have the Five of Pentacles. What I get from this, and this is going to be hard to hear because the Five of Pentacles in this particular deck is an energy of someone who's refusing to see the magic. because it's not the kind of magic they asked for. There's this weird expectation of being, well, this is a deep soul connection, so it has to unfold this way. It has to show itself to me in the physical this particular way, or else it's not real. Okay, so there's a lot of, and I feel like that's part of the exhaustion of having to break down those barriers in order to construct new thoughts and new beliefs that actually support you. Okay, so in your heart, what's going on in your heart? We have the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is an energy of laying your sword down, picking your battles, walking away. Okay, but I feel like your heart is asking you to stop picking battles you aren't going to win, because they're not your battles to fight. Okay, you're picking up a sword that doesn't even belong to you. Yeah, we have the Page of Wands and we have the Devil. Okay, so there's some kind of codependency and attachment, and yes, I get that this represents you, Capricorn, but there's a dependency and an attachment to certain outcomes or certain expectations, and we get to expectations later on in this reading, so we'll talk more about that. The Page of Wands is the source of your creativity. You're gonna have to get creative to get out of this cage. Interestingly enough, the lock is open. Okay, so what are you willing to put your sword down with? What swords are you willing to put down in order to be free of this burden? And it's not the connection that's the burden. It's not the connection, it's what the connection makes you face that's the burden. Okay, and I know that sometimes that's difficult because it seems like it's this anonymous entity, but it really is. It's all around your beliefs of how things are supposed to look in the physical right now is what I'm getting. Okay. All right, so let's get a card or some cards representing your person. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. So it's interesting that the Six of Cups is here, and that's what's on your mind. Okay, big surprise there. I don't know if that's really a surprise to anybody. This is Scorpio energy, though. We have some Scorpio energy showing up. And what is on your mind right now? Okay, we'll take the first one. The Eight of Swords. Okay, self-imposed entrapment. Okay, which I find interesting because I feel like you too are trapping yourself with your thoughts. Okay, now there's going to be mirroring in a lot of ways, so just be mindful of that if you're suffering from something, so are they. It's just you're suffering from more subconscious stuff, whereas they're suffering more from physical stuff, because that's how it works. Okay, all right, what is in their heart right now? Well, okay, so we'll take this one. It is the Six of Swords. Okay, so they want to get away from the drama. They're being guided. It's interesting that we have the Five of Swords, laying down your swords and walking away. We have the Six of Swords, sailing out of drama. Okay, they want to put the sword down too in their own way. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers here. Let's get some more cards representing your person here, Capricorn, because I feel like you're both in these loops right now. And you just need an exit. You need to take the next offering. Okay. All right, let's get some more cards representing your person here. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so there's definitely some passion here. Big surprise. They might have some fire in their chart also. And we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so which is Pisces energy. Okay. I feel like some of you feel like you're forced to walk away, but you don't really know how. How is that possible? And you're never really walking away from them, but we'll get more into that. I feel like they also have an energy of needing to walk away from the things in their life. It's so interesting. Let's see what else is on their mind. Let's get some clarifiers for this Eight of Swords. Oof, we have lots. Okay. Yeah, so we have the Ten of Wands. very burdened energy. We have the King of Wands, so knowing what they want, knowing how to get it. And then we have the Death card, knowing that things have to change, knowing that they have to step out of that entrapment, knowing they have to make movement in order for the burden to lessen. And it's very interesting, because this is more of an energy of, I'm going to give this up to God, and this is more of an energy, I have to do something for things to change, which is very interesting, because that's actually how a lot of the divine feminine and masculine energy works, right? Like the feminine energy is subconscious and it manifests for the masculine. So every time you make progress subconsciously, energetically, it manifests for them physically. So with you knowing you need to lay the sword down and walk away from whatever it is you're hanging on to over here, it allows them to put their own swords down and sail away from the drama. Do you understand what I'm saying there? Okay, so let's see what else is in their heart. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Temperance card. Okay, so balance, self-care, self-healing. We have the King of Pentacles. We have somebody who really wants to take charge of their life and be more mature and grounded and financially stable. And then we also have the forceful, determined energy of the Chariot in a choice position. So wanting to make a choice. They know they have to make a choice in what they're doing with their life. And what's interesting is that by you seeing this, Capricorn, and seeing that an actual, like, you have to take action as the king of, like, they have the King of Wands here. They have to take action to create the change. It gives you a heads up that you also have to take action and create the change within yourself so that they can do that outside. Okay. You're both in a place where you need change, and you're both in a place where you have to create that change for yourselves. The only difference is that it's things that are happening internally with you, and it's things that are happening externally with them. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what some of the triggers are right now for you guys. What is the trigger right now? Like an emotional, yep. The walking away, and we got it here, and I sensed it when that card came up, and I said that out loud. I don't believe, I'm going to be very clear about this, I don't believe in walking away from the connection. I think that's baloney. I do believe in walking away from the expectations of the connection. I also understand how difficult that is, because in our hopes and dreams, we have this vision of how amazing things can be, and we don't want to let that go. But I feel for this right now, you're being pushed. You're both being pushed, okay? You're being pushed to walk away from the internal turmoil that's happening with you. You're going to be pushed and pushed and pushed and triggered until you recognize that it's pushing you in the right direction, okay? It's not pushing you away from them. It's pushing you away from the judgment and the anger and the hard feelings you have for them right now, okay? So I know that's difficult, but I feel like that's a major trigger that's happening right now. And if you can be aware of that trigger, and you can actually do something with it and be productive with it, I feel, Capricorn, that would be very suiting for you. It would make you feel better about yourself and about the situation. I don't believe this is about walking away. You may need to walk away from them in the physical a little bit. Until you get your own emotions sorted, because he's just giving back to you exactly what you are. And I say he, there's no gender here. The masculine energy, he's just showing you what you need to walk away from. It's a direct physical representation right now of the emotions you have within you. Okay, let's see what expectations are on the table, because we like to face expectations. If we have expectations, it means that we have attachments to things that no longer serve. Okay, so we have all tied up. So The all tied up is all about that self-imposed entrapment. I think it's interesting that we're going through these things, and this is sort of mirroring what is happening with the divine masculine. But as you know, you're also all tied up, Capricorn. Okay, I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record by the time this video is over, and I hope you don't hate me for it, but I feel like sometimes things need to be said in different ways, same thing, in order for it to really hit home sometimes. The expectations are tying you up. What are you expecting? And you can go and get a pen and paper if you need to and write these things down to yourself. What do you expect from this person? What is it that this person is, that you're needing from this person that they're not giving you and is making you feel this way? Start writing all that stuff down, because they're clues as to what you feel you're lacking in yourself. They're clues as to things that you need to fill. And you know, even though they're the other half of your soul, it's not their job to fill that. They have to fill that of their own volition for themselves, right? So I feel like it's really important to start writing down your expectations of this person. Well, I expect them to call me when they say they're going to. Why? Why do you expect that? Well, it's a sign of respect. Who says it's a sign of respect? Who created that belief to hold that person to this particular level and make them only worthy of your attention if they fit that criteria? That is not the seed of unconditional love. Okay? And I'm not saying it's okay to put up with abusive or disrespectful or whatever. I'm just saying, what are you judging them on? Because this is a pure reflection of you. This is where you get to come back to yourself and be like, okay, I can shift and change this. I can, my feelings, my beliefs are the ones that are making me feel this way, not their actions. Okay? They can act and be whoever they want to be without it ruffling my feathers if I'm whole and well and healed. Okay? All right, what are some external influences that you could be dealing with these? They could be dealing with these. We got two here. The door to value and third chakra, so solar plexus. Absolutely. This is a misconstrued version of self-worth. So when I talked about, if he said he's going to call me and he doesn't call me, you have these unrealistic expectations of someone else's behavior. But are you holding yourself to that kind of level of expectation? And I don't mean if you tell somebody you're going to call, you call them because you're being respectful to them. There's no doubt in my mind that you are. But are you the same type of respect to yourself? Do you treat yourself the way the way you treat others? Because an interesting thing is, I bet that your twin often treats you the way that you treat yourself. If you want to look back at the history, if they lied to you, do you lie to yourself about things to try and make yourself feel better? I know it's a really hard concept to, I'm sitting here looking like, oh my God, I probably do that. You know what I mean? There's no judgment here, Capricorn, but there is an opportunity to be more awake, okay? This is an external influence. So when I see that, I see how other people in your life, okay, have shaped your own beliefs about yourself. Okay, some of you have become people pleasers. Some of you go over above and beyond other people for other people to earn their respect, to feel like you have value. Okay, your twin does it in their own way. I guarantee you they do it in their own way. But when it comes to the two of you, you're unable to treat each other with that kind of level of respect because you don't do that for yourselves. Okay, and why it's in this position is to show you that there's beliefs that other people put upon you that you're still carrying around and living with that need to be faced in this moment. Okay, which is interesting because I'm not even gonna pull for blockages because I feel like that's a huge blockage for you right now. I feel like that's why there was two cards that came out here, because we go external influences and blockages. And they're intertwined for you right now. They're intertwined in a sense where you're both dealing with your own value. So it's not about how you stand up to yourself for others. It's how you stand up to yourself, for yourself, to yourself, with yourself? How do you talk to yourself? You know, you can see it in a reflection of how you interact with your twin, okay, because they are the other half of you, right? So keep that in mind. That's a huge piece for you right now, Capricorn. And if you can blow the blockages out of this, if you can blow the blockage out of the way, you'll be like clear. Like this is major for you. So if you can do some work around this will be like really amazing. Okay, I just want to get a look at how you're viewing your twin right now and how they're viewing you. And I get that this is more of like a physical, more from their higher self to your human self and vice versa. Because the soul, you would just see yourself, right? We kind of talked about how there's mirroring here. All right, let's take a look at how your higher self is viewing them. Water flight. Okay, heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, and weightlessness. Okay. So your higher self is recognizing the burden that they're feeling in their physical life right now. But when they connect to the soul part of them, it's that weightlessness, that feeling, that peacefulness, that calm, that feeling of home, if you will. Okay. Something tells me also, Capricorn, when you connect to the soul part of your twin, the other half of your soul, it is a weightless feeling. There is no heaviness there. Okay. And I think some of you, when you connect to that, think it's the adoration you have for them, but it could possibly be that spark of light of adoration you have for yourself. Okay. All right. So how their higher self is viewing you. Sorry. Oh, fertility, potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy. Yeah, you're powerful, Capricorn. You're very, very powerful. And whatever you cling on to manifests in the physical. You are the creator of this world. Okay. And so the energy that I'm getting from that is that it's really time to take responsibility for your negative thoughts as well, your negative attachments, because you know that they're not yours. They know that they were put on you. And this isn't a blaming thing. We're not going to blame all the people that did that. We're just going to gain awareness around that and say, you know what? I am going to take responsibility for this. I'm aware of it, so I'm going to do something about it, kind of a deal. Let's take a look at some hopes and intentions for the near future. Yep. We got a journey of the soul here, kids. Okay, it's time for you to continue on your journey and release more of your human attachments. You're still going to be human. You're still going to be physical. It's just not going to feel as heavy. You're going to feel more empowered. You're not going to feel trapped by those emotions that no longer belong to you. You're going to be able to move, and when you move, they can move, but you have to release all of this heaviness. It does not belong to you. Okay, so let's take a look at some guidance moving forward. Maybe some guidance on how to, I feel like we talk about that a lot, about what you can do. You can start writing down your lists of things, and I apologize if you can hear things in the background. I don't live alone. I'm not sure why they need to yell at each other from room to room, but here we are. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Popped right out. Okay. Solutions. I love that. Solutions. Success comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. Forgive yourself, forgive them. Look up Ho'oponopono. Message me if you want. I'll hook you up. It's the most beautiful thing. But there is a solution to be had here. There is balance. There is self-control. There's patience. There's forgiveness. There's healing. We have the High Priestess, powerful psychic insights, reflection, meditation that provides valuable information, and be at peace. Okay, trusting your own counsel, trusting your intuition. Not allowing your ego to take over and think that there's some vendetta or that they owe you. I'm getting an energy that you feel they owe you, and it's time to let that go because it's not serving you. It's not bringing you what you want and what you truly need. 2 hearts, dedicated to creating something wonderful, kindred spirits, and don't give up on those you love. Okay? You don't get to give up on yourself. I hate to break it to you, but you don't. So if you're not going to give up, if you can't give up on yourself, it's time to get to work on yourself. And it's time to be open to the fact that you've been hanging on to these expectations that aren't yours. And maybe that requires you meditating, sitting down with your guides, with your higher self, with your twin's higher self, and mapping out all the expectations you have and being like, okay, why do I expect these things? And are they actually going to bring me genuine happiness, or are they going to band-aid me for the moment? Okay. So I hope that this has helped. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing week.